He's Dr. Andonuts' apprentice now, and he just so happens to be reading the rumored Overcoming Shyness book. You retrieve the book and go back to the introverted Tenda village where they all learn to be more sociable. But as you progress on your journey, you come across a cave that feels different. It houses ancient overgrown rock formations that extend over an abyss with no bottom, and the wreckage of an odd but somehow familiar machine. But you disregard that, you go on your way, and you end up finding the final of the 8 sanctuaries. And this is where things start to take a bit of a turn. Once you find the final sanctuary, Ness collapses and has a vision of him walking through his house in Onet on the day his mother brought him home from the hospital after being born. He then wakes up in a place called Magic Hand, the realm within his own mind. In this realm, he meets up with old friends, acquaintances, even enemies, and younger versions of himself. Everything each character has to say strikes a chord with the player on a different emotional level. At one point, you even find Pokey, and though he's been nothing but a snot-nosed annoyance who's always done nothing but spite Ness, at least in Ness's subconscious, Pokey is still a kid who wants to be appreciated and wants to be Ness's friend, just to know there's someone out there who cares even just a little bit about him.
Ness, you're so lucky. I envy you. I have no luck. But, Ness, okay, um, let's be friends forever, alright?
Traveling to the center of Ness's mind, you find the Money statue. Even though the statue has long since lost its power in the real world, it still has a hold over Ness. In this way, Earthbound poses the idea that symbols only have as much power as we decide to give them. As the player's guide says in an entry about the Money statue in one of the sanctuary locations, it appears that much of what is happening in Ness's galactic struggle against Gygus is taking place in his own mind. When Ness is able to conquer the evilness within him, his body is filled with the power brought to him from the 8 sanctuaries, he receives a massive level up, and fully becomes the Boy of Legend. Ness regains consciousness surrounded by his friends in the same place he collapsed. His heart tells him to go to Saturn Valley, where the gang finds Dr. Andonuts, Apple Kid, and Mr. Saturn surrounding a machine called the Phase Distorter. After meeting the genius Mr. Saturn people and wanting to help Jeff and his new friends on their adventure, Dr. Andonuts has built a machine that can travel through space and time to find Gygus' location. The kids, Dr. Andonuts, Apple Kid, and a couple Mr. Saturns transport to the cliff that time forgot, the mysterious cave you encountered a while earlier. Dr. Andonuts seems shaken and stands off alone by the cliffside. When you ask him what has him troubled, he reveals that it seems that Gygus is attacking from their exact location in their present, from far in the past. The kids will have to travel through time to defeat Gygus, but it comes with a price. The Phase Distorter can travel around the world without issue, but to travel through time, any passengers aboard it must be inorganic. To violate the laws of time is to die in the process. The only way that Ness, Pyro, Jeff, and Pooh could travel back in time to face Gygus would be to remove their souls from their bodies and implant them in other vessels while their bodies remain in the present.